Coming up on News 4 Tucson today, Megan Spector gets you ready for the Tucson Gem Show. Find out how you can enjoy the big festival.
Plus, we have new details in a case from over a year ago as Tucson police have finally found a second suspect.
And later, why homeowners in Vail are demanding officials change a road. Tucson Today starts right now.
From KVOA, investigating for you. This is Tucson Today.
Good Friday morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Destiny Quinn.
And I'm Robbie Reynolds. It's 6 o'clock here, and we're getting ready for a warmer afternoon for us going into a very nice weekend. Here's 4-1 meteorologist Shea with a look at your traffic and weather together, Shea.
Yeah, really nice weekend on tap, warmer than the past several days, so really perfect timing because Saturday and Sunday will be the nicest days we've had in a while. Low 40s right now in Tucson. However, we have already dropped down to the freezing mark. That happened earlier this morning. Thanks to a very light breeze, though, that is helping keep us a little bit warmer, but still pretty cold to the south and east. Back in the 20s, teens for a lot of you, so keep bundling up and hopefully you protected those 4 Ps overnight and into this morning as well. Planning your day ahead, of course, a cold start but warmer this afternoon compared to the last several days, pushing to about 55 around lunchtime, 62 around 3. Thankfully, we don't have the wind to worry about today, just lots of sunshine and warmer afternoon temperatures. Again, still below average, but as we work our way towards the weekend, temperatures will climb to near normal, and then we'll have some changes early next week, which will knock our temperatures back down and bring us our next chance for rain and snow. Details coming up, but now let's go ahead and focus on traffic and help get you out the door on this Friday morning. We are taking a look at that morning commute, and it is quiet across the board, so let's keep it that way on this Friday morning.
6:01 now. This is happening today. Final preps are underway for Tucson's annual Gem Show. It officially starts tomorrow and goes until February 12th. News 4 Tucson's Megan Spector joins us live from downtown. Megan, what can we expect this year?
Well, the tents are already set up, and check out the crystals that are behind me. They're already set up this morning, and vendors have today to get their final preps in order before they expect thousands at the showcase. Now take a look at this video. You can see vendors hard at work yesterday as booths started getting up. Vendors started unloading. In this year's showcase, they will have over 40 vendors with crystals, rocks, fossils, minerals, jewelry, and more. And where I'm standing right now is just one of the 48 different gem show locations across the city. This is the largest and the oldest gem show in the world, contributing millions to our local economy every year. $131 million to be exact over the 3-week show. Now, vendors are setting up gems from all over the world, ready for the new and the returning shoppers.
Oh, we have multiple gems here and minerals from Morocco. My boss has been doing this for 20-something years. We have fossils, we have different stuff like fluorites and amethysts and gems like that. Lots of selenite and things with a lot of metaphysical properties.
This is our 30th year coming down. We had a store in Ann Arbor for 28 years, and we sold the store last year for Directions on Main Street.
For more information about this year's Gem Show, you can head to our website at KVOA.com. Reporting live from downtown, Megan Spector, News 4, Tucson.
We have new details this morning on a deadly pedestrian crash from 2021. Tucson police say they found the second suspect of a deadly hit and run in Midtown that happened on New Year's Eve. On Wednesday, the second suspected driver, William Wesselink, was arrested on charges including leaving the scene of an accident and tampering with evidence. These are both felonies. The victim, Manfred Rivas, was found by police on December 31st of 2021. He'd been hit by 2 cars on Stone Avenue near Fort Lowell. Both drivers left the scene and Rivas was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Using witness descriptions, detectives were able to track down one of the vehicles suspected in the crash. On January 6, 2022, Roberto Lara was charged with leaving the scene of a deadly crash and failure to render aid. He was also arrested on an outstanding felony warrant. It's unclear which driver hit Rivas first.
This morning, Tucson police are investigating a homicide in Midtown, and they need your help finding out what happened. Tucson police say that Terrence Ross was found dead in the parking lot at Mansfield Park on Grant Road early Tuesday morning. Police say that Ross showed obvious signs of trauma. Anyone with information is asked to call 88-CRIME, and you can stay anonymous.
This morning, some parents in Vail say enough is enough. 2 crashes in the span of about 24 hours earlier this week. One claiming the life of a teenager is calling attention to that area.
As News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink tells us, there are calls to city and county leaders to do something that can help make that intersection safer.
Monday morning's fatal crash here in Vail happened here on Marianne Cleveland Way, taking the life of a 16-year-old girl. And now one parent hoping outrage sparks change. 2 crashes in 24 hours on this very congested road in Vail. Richard Leitner and his family live out here. He says his 16-year-old daughter is fearful to get behind the wheel. This dad wants Marianne Cleveland Way widened in hopes of making this road, with schools nearby, safer.
Just think of the kids. That's all I can say to these folks that make these decisions. Just think of the kids. What if it was your kid?
This plea to city and county leaders coming on the heels of a teenager dying on this roadway Monday morning. According to TPD, that teen apparently veered her car into oncoming traffic lanes, striking a pickup truck. She died at the scene.
Probably just got her driver's license, and knowing that if the roads were wider, that could have been avoided.
Leitner wrote to Tucson City Councilwoman Nikki Lee. In response, Lee's office says she stressed to her colleagues the need to widen Marianne Cleveland Way and several other roads during Tuesday night's council meeting. But Lee and the city can't do it alone. According to Lee's office, Marianne Cleveland is the responsibility of both Tucson and Pima County, and any decision on changes to infrastructure lies with the Regional Transportation Authority. But Leitner just wants to see some action now.
I get it. We're unincorporated out here, but you know what though? That's just politics. For the sake of saving all these numerous accidents that have happened because the roads probably weren't wide enough, just widen it. It's who cares who pays for it?
Councilwoman Lee encouraging the community to speak out about this, and Leitner tells me he plans on doing just that at Tucson's next city council meeting scheduled for February 7th. In Vail, I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
It's 6:07 now. We have new details in an officer-involved shooting on the southwest side near Casino del Sol. It happened last Sunday when Pima County Sheriff's deputies were sent to a home on Valencia and Camino Verde to investigate a hit-and-run. That's when they say Richard Castro started shooting at deputies from the garage. Deputy Christopher Campbell was shot in the leg. The suspect was also hit. He is in the hospital in critical condition. Deputy Campbell is a 6-year veteran of the department. He is also in the hospital, but he is expected to recover. Investigation there is ongoing.
A man is fighting for his life in the hospital this morning after he was shot by a police officer earlier this month. Tucson police say Elijah Dixon called 911 on January 15th. Telling them he was going to end his life at an apartment complex near Kolb and 22nd. He was transferred to mental health professionals, but his behavior escalated, and at some point he grabbed a gun. When officers arrived to the apartment complex, Dixon was seen with 2 guns and a tactical vest. He shot his gun and then encountered 23-year veteran officer Matthew Mers, who shot Dixon with his rifle. Dixon was taken to the hospital where he remains in critical condition.
Swift reaction this morning after the latest high-profile police brutality case resulting in murder charges against officers.
Video of the police encounter is expected to be released tonight. Chris Wynn reports.
In a word, it's absolutely appalling.
Growing shock after 5 former Memphis police officers were charged in the death of Tyree Nichols.
This was wrong. This was criminal.
The 29-year-old died more than 2 weeks ago following an encounter with the officers. On Thursday, the ex-officers were each formally charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and kidnapping, among other charges.
If it was a legal detention to begin with, it certainly became illegal at a certain point, and it was an unlawful detention.
On Thursday, the Shelby County District Attorney announcing a clearer timeline of the incident, claiming officers pulled Nichols over. There was a confrontation, then he ran away.
There was another altercation at a nearby location at which the serious injuries were experienced by Mr. Nichols.
Nichols was hospitalized and died 3 days later. Attorneys for the Nichols family released a statement saying the incident points to the desperate need for change and reform to ensure this violence stops occurring during low-threat procedures. Meanwhile, a friend of one of the charged ex-officers is also speaking out, claiming Emmett Martin appeared remorseful.
I saw the pain on his face. He said he hadn't slept.
Video of the incident is expected to be released Friday night, amid growing concerns that it could lead to violent protests not just in Memphis, but across the country.
We know that the video will be bad. We know that there will be protests.
Coming up, a look at the economic impact of the Super Bowl in Arizona. Find out how much money the state can expect to reel in.
Plus, the Grand Marshal of the 2023 Tucson Rodeo Parade is sharing her message about overcoming all odds and fulfilling her dreams.
And today it's going to be really nice, low 60s. Tomorrow even better, and then on Sunday even warmer. But this is all going to change. We have some rain, snow, and colder temperatures on the way early next week. I'll have the details coming up.
You're watching Tucson Today with Destiny Quinn, Robbie Reynolds, and meteorologist Shea Sorensen. News for Tucson, investigating for you.
All right, happy Friday. You all know what time it is. In the shadow of Push Ridge lies the Linda Vista Trailhead, and that is where we're heading for this week's Hittin' the Trails. Take the family. It's a versatile hike that is rated as moderate and is easy to navigate. The Linda Vista Trail can vary in length depending on the route that you take, with an elevation gain of only about 425 feet. Along with the ease comes great views and wildlife. You can hike, run, or go horseback riding along this trail, but dogs are not allowed. Remember, drink plenty of water before, during, and after you hit the trails, even this time of year. And for a map and directions, just head to KVOA.com. And it's really going to be a nice weekend for anything outdoors. In the mornings, it'll still be a little bit on the chilly side, especially to the south and east. We're still expecting 20s, most of you below freezing in Santa Cruz, Cochise, Graham, and Greeley County. But here in Tucson, a lot of us will be waking up above freezing. And the afternoons all across southeastern Arizona will be nice. So overall, beautiful weekend, but it's not going to last. We are tracking our next rain and snow chance, and that's going to happen early next week. So the nice weather doesn't stick around too long, and temperatures will drop again below average. So enjoy this weekend. Current temperatures mainly in the 30s right now, but we have bumped up to 40 at the airport. We did drop as low as about 32 degrees earlier this morning, but thanks to a light breeze, that's kind of helped warm us up a little bit. Mainly 20s to the south and east, but 19 in Douglas right now, 23 in Safford, and holding on just barely above freezing in Nogales at 33. But this afternoon is going to be really nice. We're pushing into the low 60s. Tonight, though, it's going to get a little cold again, back in the 30s, but notice a lot of us are actually going to be above that 32-degree mark. I still want you to protect those 4 Ps just in case, but it will be a little bit warmer compared to the last several mornings. And to the south and east, mainly in the 50s today. Tonight, back in the 20s and low 30s. Now, for the weekend forecast, if you plan on heading to the Gem Show, very exciting that that's starting this weekend. It's going to be beautiful. Weather won't slow you down as you head from venue to venue. 35 Saturday morning, 62 during the afternoon, and we'll have a high of about 67 with tons of sunshine. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a little bit breezy thanks to that approaching system that will cool us down and bring our next chance for rain and snow. But we'll push it to the upper 60s on Sunday, so at least temperature-wise, we're going to be right on the nose for our average high for this time of year. But this is the next weather maker. It's bringing valley rain and mountain snow really Monday night into Tuesday, but we could see a couple isolated showers as early as Monday afternoon and as late as Wednesday morning. That's when that will finally track out of here. And when it comes to the forecast rainfall through next Wednesday morning, we could see trace amounts to about 1/10 of an inch, especially in Cochise County, potentially here in Metro Tucson. So it has trended a little bit more downward compared to yesterday, but that could change. So stick with us and we'll keep you updated. But out to the far west and north, that's where those higher totals are looking likely to fall, potentially about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. And we're also expecting some snowfall for the high terrain. We're still working on the numbers and the details, but snow level could drop down to as low as 3,000 feet by the end of this event, but you know what that means. Most of the moisture will be gone, and we're just going to be left with the cold temperatures. So mainly mid-50s Tuesday, Wednesday. Overnight lows getting pretty close to that freezing mark again, but by next Thursday, we should push back into the low 60s. So at least this big cool down doesn't last too long. That's a check of weather. Now let's go ahead and get you out that door.